Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Why I Love St. Augustine, your local podcast about building local businesses and local residents on what they love about being a part of St. Augustine. So I'm super excited to have my guest Melanie with us today. Melanie, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to share.
Of course. Well, you and I met, I want to say last week probably, or we connected within the past few weeks, and we had just like an amazing time. I loved getting to know about you, your story, and what you're doing for the community. So I'm just super excited to spotlight this and just kind of share with people because it's one of those things where you're just doing so much amazing stuff that people don't always really know what that means. So I really appreciate your time. So why don't you kick us off and tell me just a little bit about your journey? First of all, like being here in St. Augustine.
Okay, great. Yeah, I moved to St. Augustine in 2008 from Asheville, North Carolina. I had a friend who lived down here. She said, "Come visit me and hang out." I came down, fell in love with it, and I never left. It's very laid back. It's a very big, large sense of community in St.
Mm,
Augustine. Immediately when you come, you automatically feel like you fit in. There's a lot of access to different things to do. You have the beach, you have downtown, the amount of amazing restaurants. There's never a shortage of what to eat, it's where to go. Just a lot of sense of community, and it was a very smooth transition. So that's kind of what brought me down here.
that's so cool. I know that's like a very, I want to say consistent story is like a lot of people knew Florida was nice, but then they like really come here and they really soak in the community and they go, okay, I can't leave now. So
It's great. And come on, most of the time, except for hurricane season, it's like sunny every day. You don't have to wear a heavy coat. You don't get snow.
you
So
don't.
you can't beat the winters.
You really can't. And I think what's special about where we live, like the little pocket we have, is especially you would know from coming from North Carolina, is we still get that kind of like chilly season.
Yeah.
Like I still get to wear some good sweaters, or wear
Scarves.
some, yes, and like the hats and stuff. Like you still get a little bit of that. And before, if anyone's not from this area and they're gonna try to jump us in the comments, like it does get chilly because
100%.
we're right there next to the water. So,
Yeah.
we get a little cold. We get a little bit of a season.
We just we get like a little baby winter.
We
So enough
do.
to wear like cute, like winter clothes, but you don't have to have like a huge amount of them. Enough to just
Right.
like a little taste of winter fashion.
Exactly. Like dipping our toes in just a little
Yeah,
bit.
absolutely.
So I would love for you to start talking a little bit about Epic. So first off, why don't you tell a really cool story on how you got involved with Epic?
So Epic, I never thought working for an organization like this would be part of my journey, but 2 years ago, I was coaching in the competitive cheerleading industry, did that for 24 years. And 2 years ago, I had a stroke.
Mm.
I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't drive a car, and couldn't do anything at all. And I don't sit still very well. So once it got to the point where I was medically released to be able to do work, I still wanted to be able to coach somehow, like help
Mm.
people and, help navigate things. So I applied to Epic and I interviewed the first time for a care coordinator position, but I did not get that job, which everything happens for a reason. And to be honest, the role I'm in now, I love it. It's like I get so excited to come to work every day. So then I interviewed with the director of development, and I got put on the marketing team, which was her team. And I am the community outreach coordinator at Epic. So, learning about all the amazing programs Epic has and everything they do, there is so much. And the way that with it being a nonprofit organization, the way that the people who work inside the organization, they do this because they have a passion for the community and they want to help. So that's kind of how I ended up here. And the role I'm in is fantastic because it gives me the freedom to meet with people. It gives me the freedom to network. It gives me the freedom to really promote all things Epic. Like we are a leading continuum of care in St. Johns County. Since 1973, so over 50 years.
Oh,
We have 5 campuses, 4 in St. Johns and 1 in Flagler County in Bunnell. So we have the ability to help the multitude of the county, in
Mm-hmm.
even Flagler County.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to work with some of the top in their industries, and I ask them lots of crazy questions, and they are never, they give me all the answers, and I get excited because I every day I'm learning something new and getting to meet with like attorneys and physicians and help with like the fun events we do and meet with HR directors and just being that bridge to help their clients. And sometimes it can be the worst situations of their life they're going through, but we're here to help them kind of navigate those like stormy seas. So it's pretty amazing. And I'm very, very lucky to work with such amazing people and for such an amazing organization.
That's so great to hear. And, you and I talked a little bit last week about, being a coach because you did cheerleading. And I mean, you did it at a completely different level. And I did like children figure skating, right? Like it's really not the same thing. Like I was super blessed to be a part of, those beginning stages, but obviously you went more competitive and stuff. So it's just really cool to hear your story of going through something that hard, and being open about it and sharing it. And then this is what leads you to continue helping people in just a little bit of a different arena. I don't know if you fully touched on it. So you talked about like all things epics. Why don't you kind of share a little bit on what does that mean?
Okay, so what that means with all things epic is we have, like I said, the 5 campuses. We have 3 access centers that you can, if you're going through mental health or substance use disorders, you can go just walk into one of those three
Mm,
access centers. You don't have to have an appointment. You'll get an assessment done. You'll get set up in a treatment plan. We do accept most major medical insurances. We also accept Medicare, Medicaid, and TRICARE. So I think that's something a lot of people don't realize. We do accept insurance. We have a detox facility. We have a residential living and 2 sober living houses.
mm-hmm.
We also have a prevention program, which helps with adolescence and teaches parenting classes as well. Because, the world we live in today, the stuff that I experienced as a teenager, those things they're not there
Sure.
anymore. These situations are so drastically different. So it helps the parents navigate. We have a rapid response team that will, when they're called, they will go within 60 seconds to wherever the crisis may be, and they're able to usually de-escalate the situation. So then the person going through the crisis doesn't have to always be, you know, Baker acted or something like that. But the best thing of all of we also have veterans court and drug court. But I think one of the things that make us unique and what we do best is we do not turn anyone away.
Mm,
We're not going to, if somebody's going through a situation or they need mental health, we're not going to turn them away. So we accept insurance, but we also have a sliding scale. So if somebody doesn't have insurance, but they're able to pay a little bit, we'll work with them on that. And I think that's the biggest thing because with a lot of these situations, there's a waiting list for like other psychology and other psychiatric practices. In St. Johns County alone, the waiting list can be up to 9 months sometimes. So we like to have that option to be able to help anyone at any time, regardless of ability to pay.
wow. And that's just so special to hear, especially talking about, I didn't know that about other places having those waiting rooms, but I can totally believe it because there's only so many resources out there available for people, and there are a lot of people struggling. And sometimes, just admitting that you're struggling is its entire battle on its own. And when that is so hard to do, to go out and seek care now, you're like, wait, why am I being turned down? Why do I have to wait so
Right.
long? I want to get better now. This is when I feel like I have to get better, and things like that. So it can just be so debilitating to hear, like, oh, well,
You got to
sorry,
wait.
you gotta
And
wait 6 months to get
right.
clean. And it's like, wait, but I don't want to, like,
Exactly. It's
it's
hard. And
mm-hmm,
we really work at what does the community need. If
mm,
we're starting to notice a trend or there's a need for a certain type of program, like I said, we have such an amazing staff here, like our leadership team, and they get right on it. If there's a need or a program we need to expand on, or let's implement something, they really do stay in the forefront of the issues in the situations within the community.
mm,
So it's pretty great to see. We also have a MARS program, which is our medication assisted recovery services.
mm,
So that medication is administered by an APRN, and it's coupled with counseling. So it's when somebody's going through like addiction, it really is another way to help them kind of start that recovery process. So,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, everybody, if you need help, it should be easily accessible.
It
So
should be.
we believe in there should as make as least amount of barriers as we can for our clients.
Yeah. And this isn't my personal testimony, but I was talking to a gentleman about your organization, because I was like, oh, I don't know if you know what Epic is, but I feel like you'd really love knowing them. He goes, actually, Macy, I've been working with them for years. He's like, they are amazing. They're on top of it. Like he partners with you guys. It's not like he's a part of the program right now.
Great.
He's like, it's just so great to have that connection with some like an organization that's always on top of it. They're always calling him. Like
Love
literally,
that.
like right as we were finishing up our conversation, he was getting a call from one of your helpers. And it was really great to hear from him how he
Fantastic.
knows
Yeah.
Epic has impacted so many lives. So I mean, I can speak from, like personal friend experience and stuff like that. So
I love that. That makes me, when I hear that, because, there's so many times when I'm out in the community and people see like my badge and they're like, oh, Epic, you guys are amazing. You've really helped me, or you've helped my friend or family member. And I'll tell you what, like that right there just speaks volumes.
it
It's
does.
hearing from the people, that were at their potential worst points in their life, and you see them like flourishing. And when they see somebody from Epic, they're like, oh my God, let me tell you, you guys are amazing. And it just keeps us motivated to continue
Mm.
this process and to continue to do what we can.
Exactly. It's really
It's
like we can always have statistics backing us up, and we can have
tough.
like, yeah, look at how many people like we've
Yeah.
gotten clean. But I think also hearing the personal effects of
Yeah,
what that has done for their lives, for their family,
absolutely.
for their friends and families' lives, it's really like, oh my gosh, this is like we
It's
think
a
we're
whole
just a
different,
small fish in this pond. It's
yeah, it's
crazy.
a very different element when I hear it directly from people and they're standing in
Hmm.
front of you. And like, because, we can read client testimonials, we could plaster them all over social media, but reading it on a piece of paper, I think is very different
Yeah.
than being face to face with someone and you're feeling that emotion. And I've had people hug me. Not that, give me a hug, it makes you excited, but seeing that emotion conveyed from person to person, I think is what it makes it all worth it. Everything,
Definitely. And
all the stress, the fun, and everything. It's
that's so
definitely.
awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. And when we met, you had so I actually still have it. I have it on my desk just because I have nowhere else to put it. But you gave me this, and in it
Yay!
you have pretty much everything that you do. So we obviously don't have time to go over everything that you guys handle, and we barely even kind of touched the surface, in my opinion. It was so cool to read it and really learn every single thing. So I'm gonna make sure I have Melanie's information and Epic's information in the description. People can click, copy, and paste if you think it sounds like it might be something I need, but I don't know if they
Give me an
specifically help
email.
me. Exactly. Send an email, go read through. Would definitely recommend at least taking the time and just learning if this is right for either you or a loved one or whatever it seems like. So go check that out. So, before we hop off, Melanie, a really big question that I typically ask on these podcasts is I'm always asking people like, how do you get involved with the community? And the number one answer I get is to start volunteering, to get involved with an organization, to get involved with something that you care about. So, speaking as I know you do a lot of great things with the community, how can people get involved if they want to start participating in some of your events or fundraisers or anything you guys are doing to help spread the message?
Yeah, absolutely. I am actually working on building a volunteer database. So if you are interested, shoot me an email and we can go ahead and set up a meeting and I can get you added to that. You can always, if you own a business or you're passionate about something, we offer different levels of sponsorships for our events, some very affordable to like headlining. We also take donations and you can click the donate button on our website and you can donate any amount of money. Every little bit helps. And you can even put in there, there's a special instructions where you can delineate where you would like your money to go. If your
Mm,
passion is prevention in teenagers, you can say want it to go there. If your passion is detox and residential and substance abuse, you can send your money there. So there's so many different ways to get involved and help us. So, and if you need any other ideas, shoot me an email and I'll be glad to give you some more.
Awesome. Well, Melanie, thank you so much for this time today. I just so appreciate it, and it's been so great to learn what you guys are doing. I had no idea about all of the different things you guys are doing. So, learning a few weeks ago and then of course talking about it today has been really informational for me, but also just very exciting to learn. So, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast. And
Of course.
if you need any help, I'm here. That's what I'm here for.
Perfect. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.